Oh my god!
There's an E30 on the ground.
It's exploded! Oh no!
My first race car!
First race for me in this car.
Guys, my name's Larry Chen. We're here to go over my E30.
Okay.
See what Cagle's missed and messed up on it.
Okay.
I mean, it survived the track weekend, you know. She's got oil everywhere still. Out the drain plug, out the oil pan gasket. Like, the whole motor needs to be resealed. We just need to take the motor out. Use that new bend pack engine hoist we got.
Ooh.
Larry comes back, he's like, why is my car completely disassembled? Alright, here's what we're dealing with. Me and Daniel trying to pop this trailing arm off. See if you can see that back up in there. That bolt is blocked out by the gas tank fill neck right there. So we physically can't move it unless we drop the subframe or the gas tank. Sick. So we are basically pulling everything out the bottom of this car. So I got the drive shaft out, working on getting the trans out. I've never worked on these cars. There's a lot of like interesting things like guibos and whatnot. Got to get the shifter disconnected, and it's got to come off anyways for that new garagistic self-centering shifter that we have. But yeah, we're kind of just like cleaning everything up as we go. So got Big D over here just pressure washing everything, cleaning up all the grease and stuff off of it. I'd like to get like a rebuild kit for these and then maybe powder coat or paint them so they look nice and not crusty. As we've kind of shown already, it's pretty crusty. Like, pretty sure this seal's gone, the rear. I don't know if you would call this like a rear main or like an output, whatever, on a BMW, but that's done. They have like a, I don't know if you can see it up in there, but like way, I don't know if it'll focus, but like way up in here, there's just like a little, basically there's an air filter coming off the valve cover. So it's like, instead of a catch can, they just have like a 1/2 inch hose with like a tiny little K&N like breather type air filter. And so that thing is just covered in oil. The starter is disgusting. Like, everything's pretty crusty. So we're gonna try and get like a radium catch can in here just to, you know, collect any of that oil vapor that's getting pushed out through the crankcase ventilation, and then it'll just keep this engine bay a bit tidier, you know. This thing wasn't too bad. It was okay, but we don't need that no more. That's some trash. Yeah, I mean,
Is it leaking from there too?
it sure looks like it, huh? Just hit this thing with the Linos all-purpose. Turned it into the Incredible Hulk. We've got to go ham sandwich with this drill brush. Oh yeah, she's not bad. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a process, huh?
Yep.
At least I still got the lift hook on the engine right here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where we lift from the back. It's like, how much wiring does this thing really have on it, you know?
Not much.
Nothing zip tied to it.
Oh god.
Feels crunchy.
Just holding the car together.
It probably is. Like, this thing's gonna like. Ping! Oh, thank God. But still, oh!
Oh! Almost smells like coconut juice.
Coconut juice?
Yeah, like coconut water. Kind of want to try it.
I was like, this is good for me, so it must be good for the car. kids. Old, crusty, nasty motors. And Dan getting to clean up all the mess. These like heat shields are kind of cool. Because it's like the exhaust manifold gasket is also a heat shield, which I don't know if that's good or not, because it like it's like it transmits the heat from the gasket.
Yeah.
You know?
That's funny.
To be honest, I can't believe it's that dark after one race.
It was super dark, yeah.
And we
that's
like,
what I was gonna ask you. I was like, isn't that one race?
Yeah, that's one event. Unless it's just cleaning out the motor. Like if the motor's that nasty inside.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
That's good.
We're gonna know once I start taking this oil pan off and I do that timing kit and stuff. We're gonna see really how nasty it is. All right, it's a little bit of a late one, but I need this thing to be done. So, kind of been busting on it and not filming. All you really missed was me just cleaning the absolute hell out of this thing. Just sprayed it with some engine enamel. Gave her a nice coat. We're gonna let that tack up, and then I'll probably come over here and give it a second coat. But in the meantime, I have blown the shop apart and I need to clean up. Izzy's already started on it, so I'm gonna help him out. Get this going so that we can go home and do it all over again tomorrow. All right, cleaning don't stop on this stuff. Dan's going in on some cleaning. Yes, we took some parts out, dumped them off in the evapor rust because they looked crusty, and I mean, this is just evapor rust, and then Dan had a stainless brush, just kind of like brushing off any remaining stuff. The alternator didn't go in there, that'd be insane, but this just got like some purple power. Yeah, we're just kind of going through everything, dialing it all back in so I can go back together. I'm painting some parts, just so as the engine goes back together, it looks nice. So, got this freaking custom spray Rust-Oleum going on. This is like the front engine hook bracket. If we're gonna put this thing back together all nice, we might as well make it look nice. I hit it with a second coat earlier this morning, and I was kind of bummed because the second coat like wrinkled up here. This was like perfectly smooth and it wrinkled, so I don't know, bummed on that, but I mean everything else otherwise looks like dialed, you know. This is what young Danjo found in the oil strainer. So we've got like an M8 125 nut that was in there for whatever reason. Valve spring retainer. Obviously got whooped right there, and it's like cracked in half. We looked inside the motor and you could see all of them in there, so that's good. This is like the foil covering that's on top of like, I don't want to say like an oil jug, but maybe more like gear oil or like coolant or something, because I feel like quarts of oil never have this stuff. A piece of RTV, some piece of hard plastic. Over here, this is a piece of this like Delrin like windage tray scraper that it has. He's cleaning it right now. We'll go check it out. So you can see it's got these like, it's like Delrin plastic scrapers that these guys ride like right on the crank, and it looks like they're almost even like hand cut to fit, but there was a piece of that in there. Got the oil pump getting a scrub down. I mean, the oil pan is disgusting. There hasn't really been much clean coming off this motor, to say the least. So, a lot of prep. We're getting there, you know? We're getting there. Here we go. Big nut berry about to just... Look like it moved?
It did move, yeah.
Should we try it?
One more.
One more of those? My side lines up pretty decent.
You're in there?
Yeah.
Oh, it's closer. It's a lot closer.
I feel like I could still hit mine over some though.
I think yours.
Alright. I mean, I don't think she's gonna fall out at this point.
No, I don't know.
Get in there. Listen, the car. Just got back from Dubai. Literally just got back. Got color signs and Leclerc's signature on this Ferrari hat. You know, now I'm a Ferrari fan. I'm looking at this for the first time, and it's a lot. There's hanging things.
You should have seen how dirty it was.
It was bad, huh?
Oh lord.
Oh my god!
There's an E30 on the ground.
It's exploded. Oh no.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, it's a lot to put back together. Dude, that's crazy that it didn't blow up. Like, it's kind of insane that it didn't blow up.
All those little parts.
It came with a wing?
Oh, dude, we got the whole kit.
Oh my god.
It's got a gurney flap and everything.
This is going on. The wing is going on for the photo shoot. We'll take it off for the race. But we'll put it on for the livery reveal. Whoa, this... Dude, it's gonna look like a brand new motor.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
It's about to be legit. Some RTV.
Oh my god. You're like doing a whole rebuild.
That's what I'm trying to do. All right, we are about to pull up to Garagistic and say what's up to Matt. I'm gonna pick up some parts for the E30. This thing's gonna like really get turned around and rebuilt. It's gonna be pretty gnarly after like we pick up this order, to be honest. There's a few other partners like coming on board to really help us get this car like back together. And well, I shouldn't say back together. The car is together, but we just really want to give it like a proper once over and comb through it and, you know that we did our due diligence to make sure that everything can be its tip-top shape. You know, it is a race car after all. You know, these things are what's going to help keep the car on track. And at the end of the day, driving is what we're there to do. So if the car's not together, if it's not reliable, if, you know, things are constantly breaking or we're constantly having to like scab things together at the track, that makes for a pretty terrible track day or track weekend. We made it, Garagistic, Westminster, California. You can already tell this place does dope shit. Check this thing out. Sick car. Let's go see if Matt's inside real quick. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
What's going on, man?
Good. Welcome.
Good to see you.
Yeah, awesome.
Hell yeah.
All right, well, you ready to look around?
Yeah, let's check this place out.
All right. Well, this is home base, Garagistic.
You guys got a lot of stuff going on back here.
Absolutely. Yep. Of course, we got the cars, you know. The Mercedes stuff. We're BMW guys, but the Mercedes stuff is really cool. And
yeah. Okay. So that Mercedes that's yours, the track car you said?
Yep. It's 16 valve Cosworth. We don't track it with the you know heavy wheels, but
right.
Put some slicks on it. You know, we've slid it around.
Dang.
All-star bash and grip events. It's pretty
really
cool. The car's super versatile. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that thing's pretty awesome.
That's sick.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
And of course, we got the K car. Everybody likes this one. So it's a K24 swapped, 6-speed.
Sick. Got y'all shifter in there.
Yep, absolutely. We take it out. We took out the roll bar right now because we're basically just shooting instructions. People like the roll bars that we make for these things.
Like install videos and stuff?
Yep, absolutely. So we have to do that. Of course, the Spec E30, you know.
We're familiar with this guy.
Yep.
We're familiar with this guy.
You see that days, hit in the face, you know, a few times. We still gotta fix it from that last event, so there's that.
Yeah, did you guys end up like looking at this thing? How bad was it?
It was about, I think it was 12 degrees negative camber. And so, yeah, my bad, Larry. So after that, we just kind of like pulled it out and it was still like 8 degrees, but then somehow set the track record with the, you know, with the camber. It's probably because it was so cambered on that one side. Maybe it actually helped somehow, you know. Right. But that was super fun to do. But of course, you got the Grip E36, just the 92 is what we call it. Just the M50 enduro car. But you can do sub 2 minutes of button willow, so that's a plus.
That cage looks gnarly. What's going on there?
Yeah, that's a Rome special. That's what that is.
Rome special.
Yeah, Rome, he built the whole cage. It's a funny story. This is how we met, actually. I didn't know Rome, or, you know, I knew of Formula Drift and stuff like that. You know, a couple of the guys really followed it. I was more of a grip guy. Wanted the cage done for this car and went to King. King's like, oh, I know a guy. Okay, cool. And I go there and it's Rome working out of his garage, you know, and I don't know anything about him. And, you know, he's super excited, you know, the way Rome usually is.
Right.
And so he gets the cage done, and I come back. He's not as happy when I come to pick up the car. I'm kind of like, well, what's wrong? Like, I don't know him, but like he was way different the first time. He's like, oh, I just lost my title sponsor, you know. And I was like, oh, shit. Well, you know, what do you do? He's like, oh, I'm in Formula Drift, and he's like, I got like, you know, 10 days to find another sponsor. And I was like, well, I'll sponsor you.
Wow.
And he didn't know Garagistic, he didn't know me, and he was kind of just like, you know, he told me later, he's like, I just thought like you just put your face on the side of the car and be like, all right, you know, he sponsored me.
Holy cow, what a story.
Yeah,
what a
crazy,
story.
Right?
What a guy.
So she's here. She's here.
This is sweet.
What? That's a Pandem, actual Pandem. I think it's like the 3rd body kit in the United States.
Yeah, those are sick. sick.
Yeah, so they're based off of like the old E34 turbine wheels, so you can actually run the covers on them.
Okay, like a turbofan type deal?
Yep,
okay.
Yep. So there's that. So she'll come along eventually.
Gosh, yeah, this thing is sick, man. I was kind of eyeing this thing up when we walked in initially, and I was like, I wonder what this guy's all about. I see it's got your name on the side, you know. The like livery is kind of reminiscent of like a Marlboro.
Yep.
You know.
Yep, that's what it was. Yeah, exactly. It's got the rear radiator set up too and everything. And
So is this a drift car?
it was supposed to be a time attack car, but I've been hanging around with Rome, so you never know. Maybe I will go drifting with it.
And so rear mount rads are common in time attack?
No. So it's very experimental. There's a couple guys who've done it, but it's mostly just for weight distribution.
Okay.
So we were hoping to achieve the same thing. Obviously we made room for the aero by putting the exhaust that comes out through the trunk.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on this.
Holy moly.
Yep. Z cars, it's actually where I started in. I started in Datsun.
Okay.
So I have a 75 280. This is actually my brother's 240 with an LT in it. So it's funny, you'll see like small Datsun products like sprinkled on the website. That's why we started out with the Datsuns, but there's just not many of them anymore. You know, BMW stuff was like, I really wanted a 510, and the closest looking car to a 510 was an E30.
Yeah.
That's literally the transition. That's how it happened.
Kind of the like square body, like round headlights. Yeah, right,
but the 510s were really expensive, and you know, there's rust repair and stuff.
Right.
E30s were like, it's pretty close, you know, a little easier to live with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this place is gnarly, and it sounds like you've got a couple CNCs
I'll show you
going
guys.
on out.
Yeah, we have another like location with all the other car stash, but a lot of the R&D's happening here. All the product that we make. So this is all the solid shifters, all the body kits. The manufacturing is done. Well, at least part of it. The pressure injection machines are too big. Ran out of power in the building, but assemblies here. Got the 3D scanners going, 3D printers. Everything's kind of like the place spot right here.
Yeah, holy moly.
Crazy, right? For the polyurethane, and then we'll actually machine them on the CNC too. So, like, for example, if this is a bushing that's poured right here, and then we just have to machine it down. So we'll actually fixture it, put it in the machine, and then face it the way we have to do it. So you can kind of see like a little bit of polyurethane, but then we do like stainless for all the solid shifter stuff, and here's the pressure chinks for all of our injection stuff. For the prototypes, once it goes like production, we actually get machines, like machine the molds and then get it pressure injected. So yeah, it's fun. It's learning stuff. You can kind of make anything here, you know, fiberglass, carbon fiber, all kinds of stuff.
Here. This is sick.
Yeah, one of the shipping guys had wrecked their E30 back in the day. He's got junk kit, so we're like, oh, we can use it. So now we like prototype off of it. Let's see if we got a subframe that's fully adjustable and everything.
Oh my god.
That's E36. Yeah.
So there's just two, like, what? This is back halves of a car, right?
Yeah. There's actually the front half of the car up top too, but yeah, usually for car shows we'll take them out, and so it's interactive, so they can kind of see how everything goes together, and yeah, they can see how the strut bar actually ties into the secondary diff mount at the very bottom.
Right.
And this actually holds onto the rear strut bar reinforcement. So super cool when they actually look at it like this, like, wow, like the whole thing ties together. So yeah, it was really cool. This is by far one of the weirdest things probably King's Auto Body's painted for us. I'm like, here's half a car, you know. All right, so we got some swag obviously for both of you guys.
Nice.
You got both of Rome's drift cars. This was pre-wrapped. It was just a good photo. We liked it.
Nice. That's sick.
Right? And then we got the carbon fiber HVAC panel. So that'll be really cool, especially with all the switches and gauges you could put in there. Actually
right.
Holds on to the stock location too. Just rivets, and they pop right out. Brake ducts. That goes into the MTech 2 front body kit.
Yes!
This is the front radiator bracket in billet. It offers no performance gain except the fact that it's billet. So DSSR, instead of it being a single basic connection point, it's a dual connection point. So when you shift, it's really, really stiff on both sides. We did give you a few different rod lengths. That way you can experiment with what he wants. This one happens to be a black anno aluminum. And then the rear wing reinforcement. This is for the rear trailing arms. They tend to fold and bend. Basically, this holds on to that shock mount and the wing.
And so this is like a DIY weld yourself kit, right?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Nice.
So pretty easy to just weld it slow so it doesn't warp. This one is the self-centering shifter. We did another rod that's a little bit shorter, you know, just for preference, and a few different shift knobs. So Delrin, really cool for not being into the sun and baking your hand.
Right.
You said you wanted a red one, so we anodized a red honeycomb one.
Wow.
So at least you can see that in the peripheral.
Yes.
You know?
Dang, look at that guy. Just for you, Larry.
Red ano. That was a cool one.
Dude, even y'all's packaging is super nice with like.
Right? It's kind of seductive, to be honest. I don't know. I think we went too lingerie on it. But it's cool though. It looks good.
Got the Victoria's Secret.
A little bit too seductive.
The Matthew's Secret.
Yeah, Matthew's Secret. So Delrin rear trailing arm bushings right there. Matching diff as well. Motor mounts, trans mounts. It's good to have spares, so we included a bunch because these things, you never know. They really go bad. Kind of randomly sometimes. Stainless steel clutch fork. This one is a kind of just a simple thing, odometer gears, but it's nice to know when you actually how many miles you actually have on the race motor.
Right.
So there's two types in an E30. There's a VDO version or a motometer version, and the way you know is when you actually look at the cluster and it will be embossed in the face.
Okay.
We gave you both. That way, when you're in there, you could do them both.
Figure out which one we got.
Yeah. If you just pull out the cluster, bring it over, we'll do it for you. That's the other thing
Nice.
too.
Might take you up on that.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, little tiny gears. Yeah. Aluminum steering coupler. This is for the steering shaft. Usually it's rubber, it's worn out. This does eliminate a lot of play in the steering, which is really awesome. Especially see how busy we are with the Spec E30. It's just like stock steering rack. So you're just sitting there, just sailing. You know?
And that play you're talking about, it takes out like torsional play in the steering wheel, right?
Yep, exactly. Okay. Yeah. Aluminum throttle cable is really good too. Same thing, the throttle cable stretches. So basically it's usually rubber on the factory cars. Now it's aluminum. You just pop that in and now there's like less play in the gas pedal too. This also pairs well with that. This is a Delrin accelerator pedal, but it's from the bottom. So usually there's like real rubber parts where the gas pedal will rotate and pivot into the firewall. Those usually disintegrate and they're really soft, so now they're Delrin as well. So everything's very smooth, very tight. Between that, the shifter, and the steering, it's kind of like those three things really make the car feel a little bit more precise, you know?
Right.
Raised rear subframe bushings.
Okay.
So these kind of raise it. This is the ones that you guys had requested, but it actually dials out negative camber. You can run it in reverse if you really wanted to, but I did give you a set of standard ones too in case you wanted to keep that camber in the rear.
Okay.
It does help. So you got both. Stainless steel brake lines, a must. Pretty self-explanatory on that one.
Those look good. I like the red color.
Yep, lifetime warranty, and it's got the coating so it doesn't, mar anything. Antenna delete. That's nice, you don't have to weld the hole shut. Stainless steel clutch line right there. This was another product that we really didn't see on your original list, but we really thought you should have it.
Okay.
It's the wheel studs. It's one of those things that you should really switch them out every once in a while.
Okay.
They stretch and stuff like that, so
these are consumable in a way.
In a way, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, some people can run them forever, but it's one of those things like they're cheap. Just replace them. You're hitting people all the time.
Right.
Just change them out. Really cheap insurance. And this is the whole reinforcement kit for the E30. So rear shock mounts. These usually just get torn out, especially if you convert to a true rear coilover setup. The front engine reinforcement. So basically the motor mounts will actually push through the subframe. Another reason why we're developing our own subframe. So you actually have to weld those in there. Same thing with the rear sway bar mount. It's almost like everything can get ripped out of the car, So rear sway bar mounts, these rip out of the rear control arms. You weld those in place. Same thing with the front sway bar mount. Those also get ripped out. Got those.
There's a theme here. If you haven't picked up, there's definitely a theme going on here.
Kept us busy, all the way through the E46 chassis. Diff reinforcement is the mounting points where the diff actually will bolt into the subframe. They also get ripped out. Front control arm ball reinforcements. So these kind of just wrap around the front control arms. They can cave in. It's pretty rare, but it's good insurance while you're in there and you've got the whole subframe stripped anyway and you're about to get it powder coated. You might as well weld these ones in too. And then the rear trailing arm mounting point gussets. So basically this is where the trailing arm mounts to the subframe. And on these ones, when you hit stuff, the whole thing kind of gets tweaked. So this is kind of a gusset to keep that in place too.
Okay.
And all this stuff's on our YouTube channel as far as like where to weld it and all that.
Right.
We also offer the service for all those things. They could bring in their subframe or their control arms and we'll do it in-house. We have the fixturing and all that. And we TIG weld it. So yeah, it's a little bit of everything, but this should be enough to get you guys going.
Nice. Hell yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah, of course.